Hi, and welcome back to our reporting training. This video will cover the days to close and data definition tabs within the closed sales distribution report. This tab exposes valuable information relating to how soon after a lead is submitted the person purchases the product. So to get started, you'll need to log into your Aimbase install, come over to the Reports tab. Over on your far left under Report List, scroll down to Distribution. So at the top you'll notice you have your filters with the date range, your lead type, category, source, brand, and then dealer information. Now on this particular tab, it offers a few different ways of viewing the data. But the goal is to help you understand more about your customers and the sales cycle for your brand. So an important note about this tab, which differs from others in this report, is the ability to toggle between first lead, last lead, and even distribution. So to help better explain the differences between each of those selections, let's just take a look at John Doe's purchasing cycle. He's in the market for a new bike, but he's new to cycling and he's unsure of which product is right for him. To begin educating himself, John submits a form on the Request a Brochure download page. After spending some time reading over the brochure, he's narrowed down his search to 2 bikes, and he comes back to the site to submit a Build-A-Bike form for each. Once he has completed his builds, he reviews the information one last time and decides which bike he plans to purchase. He enters one final lead on the Contact a Dealer form. He connects with the dealer and he purchases his new bike. So in total, John has submitted 4 leads throughout his search for a new bike. So when it comes to analyzing your data on this tab, you will want to consider if you would like to measure it based on the first, last, or even distribution of the lead. In our example about John's buying process, choosing that first lead would give credit on the matched sales to the Request a Brochure lead. Choosing the last lead would give the credit of the matched sale to his Contact a Dealer lead. And then choosing that even distribution would give 25% of the credit to each of the 4 leads he has submitted. On this first graph of days to close, it's your typical bar graph representing a range of days following the receipt of a lead. The height of the bar represents the number of sales that matched to a lead and how many days after a lead the sale occurred. So here you can tell within 30 days to close, they were able to close 41 sales. If we go all the way over to the right, you can tell very long time, 330 days to close, but they were able to close 233 sales. Now the summary days to close graph you can see here. It's very similar to what we just saw above, but it's using different days to close buckets. It's basically just simplifying those data ranges. So we've got the 0 to 30 days, and then here you can tell they've grouped 31 to 90, 91 to 180, and then greater than 180 days. Now next, you can see the prospect closed sales. This displays in a grid version of the data within the first tab. So it's basically giving you a grid version of all the data you see in this tab. But in this view, you'll also be able to see what percentage each bucket of time represents of all closed sales for your time frame. So when we look at that 30 days to close, we know that we closed 41 sales, and this represents 5% of that particular bucket. Now our last tab is the data definitions. And you'll see this tab in each of the new reports. It holds a bunch of useful explanations and definitions for the words and sometimes jargony things that we say in the AIM-based reports. So if you ever get stuck or have questions, check here first for some more information to give you some context of what we're trying to do with this report and what we're talking about. So this concludes the video for the days to close and the data definitions. If you do have any questions or would like to have access to these videos for future reference, you can find them on our help.gorolick.com site. So go check out that site for more useful tutorials and explanations of the AIM-based product. Thank you for listening.